Hey guys and girls, it's Tom Panos here, and I'm back at the beach. I've been here for a few hours, and I just want to wish everyone that I'm connected with on social media, in particularly Facebook, a happy new year. And I really hope that you have a future much bigger than your past. It doesn't matter whether you're 75 or you're 25. That same belief can exist, the rest of your life can definitely be the best of your life. And I also want to let you know is I simply, as I sit here today at the beach in Byron Bay, in many ways I can't believe it, because in 2006, when I'd first been diagnosed with advanced cancer, I still remember the two professors saying, you should aim with a view that maybe you'll be one of the lucky ones that gets through to the next decade. Well, that's, way and beyond now. So that was in 2006, and they were thinking about, trying to beat the 5-year survival rates, which was very poor back then. And I got through that, and it's been a bumpy road, no question about that. Multiple times of a relapse, but no evidence of disease now, and cancer-free, and with a view that can live a long and healthy life. But, for me, I have to say it, and I've said it before, that some of the best gifts in life come badly wrapped. For me, it's been illness. For other people, it's been a separation. For other people, it's been a financial breakdown. All I can tell you is that, a person that goes through a challenging scenario, many of the times that scenario is not their own fault. It's an uncontrolled event or circumstances that have nothing to do with you. And what actually ends up happening is that the person that goes through that event comes back a different person. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. No matter what setback you have, the comeback can always be bigger than the setback. And it's not what happens to you, it's what you do about what happens to you. And yes, we're at the time of the year now where you set goals, and yes, you set a plan ahead. But I want you to understand, as you listen to me very carefully, no plan survives collision with reality. I'll say it again. No plan survives collision with reality. And the other day I posted something on social media, which was that most people have this paralysis by overanalysis, by having that model which is ready, aim, fire. I'm going to say to you, on the first day of January 2020, replace that model with ready, fire, aim. Just get started. 80% of winning is just beginning. And I noticed that successful people, what they do, and those that were interviewed by James Altucher on his 500 podcasts that he's done, he studied that these people actually do things, they get feedback, and they tweak it, and they do more of what's working, and they do less of what's not working. And the only way that you can actually establish those things is by actually doing. So I'd like to ask you all here that maybe the one thing that I'd love you to do today is, and I'm doing it as well, I'm doing it in my mobile phone, is to write out a note dated the 31st of December 2020, and it only has to be 3 or 4 paragraphs, and describe what your year in 2020 looked like if you achieved it. So you're writing yourself the letter as if the year's gone by, and it'll say, "Dear Tom, what an incredible year it's been. It's another year that you stayed cancer-free with no evidence of disease, in total remission. Your health is at its best ever. In addition to that, you're able to achieve the milestone of X amount in your real estate gym. You're able to contribute into various groups that I'm not going to go off and tell you exactly what mine is, because I'm actually writing it down. I'll be happy to share it with you. The point I'm making is that you want to describe your year from a financial perspective, from a health perspective, from a business perspective, from a spiritual perspective. And spirituality doesn't mean religion, guys and girls. Not at all. It can mean religion, but it is accepting. It is accepting that there is a higher being. even the program, the Alcoholic Anonymous program that was established in 1935, one of its core principles in the 12-step program is the acceptance to surrender to a higher being. And that's a good thing, because that takes the pressure away from you having to think to yourself that, hey, you've got to do it all on your own. It helps you understand that there is a higher being that is in power, and that, you don't have to feel alone. The other thing I was going to, touch on is that for me, there's this constant paradox that I have. On the one hand, I sit there and I think to myself, Tom, have an attitude of gratitude, be happy, don't chase. And then on the other hand, I realize that it is this chase, this unmet need, this feeling that you don't have enough and you need more, that actually drives you. And it's a big paradigm. It's contradictory if you actually think about it, because on the one hand, what drives a lot of successful people is that they're totally dissatisfied with where they are now versus where they can be, and they've got this anxiety, and they've got this pressure, and they've got this unease, and they hate not doing nothing because they feel like they're wasting time, right? And then, but it is this same feeling of not having enough, of chasing and never arriving, that also causes you having an incomplete life, a life where you feel like you're not enough, a life where you feel like, if I had this, I'd be happy. And all I'll say to you is that one of the things I've tried over the last probably 2 to 3 years is I've tried to sort of, have one eye going forward and saying, yes, I can actually impact more people and make an impact at the same time, right? I can have an income while making an impact. Maybe I said that wrong. I can make an impact while having an income. But at the same time, I think to myself, hey, Tom, you've done really well as it is. Don't forget from where you came from. Don't forget, no matter how things are right now, you've survived 100% of your darkest days. And if anyone has woken up today on this first day of 2020 with any doubts at all about their capability of actually having an incredible future and living a magnificent life, I want to remind you, you're a winner, because already you have survived 100% of your darkest days, 100% of the shit that was dealt into you, the cards that you've dealt, you've survived it, whether it's a scandal, whether it's a loss of a partner, whether you were cheated on by your wife or husband, whatever it is. I want you to remind you right now, if you're listening to this, you have a heartbeat, you're in the game. And I'm going to tell you, guys and girls, as I finish off, because I want to jump in that ocean, is this: remember this. The mortality rate between playing safe and risky is 100% correct. The mortality rate between safe and risky is 100%. So if that's the case, you might as well play big. Play big. And I urge you guys and girls, play a future bigger than your past. Guys and girls, I'm signing off.